For over 20 years, I've dedicated my life to bringing you the very best business building strategies to keep you thriving. Get ready to experience the success you've been searching for. Welcome to the Tom Ferry Show. Hey everybody, welcome to the Tom Ferry Show, episode 25. Today, we're discussing 7 different ways that you can go out and generate more appointments. Now, as we survey and talk to our clients, and as I travel around the world and we talk about the problems that people are facing today, one of the big ones is following up on our leads and converting. Now, you and I both know the game today to generate leads in real estate has become very easy. You can buy leads. It's endless, the opportunities that are out there. The challenge, though, that I see in talking with so many of our great clients is, let's say they generate 100 online leads. Some of them are converting 2 out of 100, some are converting 4 or 5 out of 100, and others are converting 15 out of 100. And the question is, what's the difference between the person that's getting 2 out of 100 and say 15? Well, today we're going to talk about 7 different things that the very best people are doing every single time to convert. Because remember, all the money is in conversion. So let's take a look at the list, and maybe we'll be reminding you of a few, or perhaps this will be the first time you're hearing it and you're saying to yourself, I need to take that on if I want to generate more appointments and win more business. So, number 1 is very simple. Know your outcome. Before every call you make, every email you send, every text, every video, whatever you're doing to follow up on your leads, the very first thing is to know your outcome and to get totally clear, like, what is the bullseye? Like, think about it. You're about to call your leads and you're like, okay, here's Tom and Kathy Ferry. I've been talking to them for a while. I know they were talking about doing something in the next, 4 or 5 months, maybe 6 months, and I've been following up on them forever. And when you start to tell the story about the lead, you start to tell the story in your head about the client. Well, the question is that story compelling? Is it about producing a result? Is it about getting you more of what you want, helping them get more of what they want? Or does the story actually deflate you and you make the phone call with the wrong outcome? You call with like, hey, I'm just calling to check in to see if you guys are still thinking about doing something in the next 4 to 6 months, versus being absolutely focused on what you want. I'm calling to get appointments. I'm calling right now to book appointments. I can think of a time when I was knocking on doors a million years ago with one of my clients in LA. And every door he went to, so I want you to picture, every door we went to that day, knocking on doors in LA, he would turn to me and say, these guys really want to sell. These guys really want to sell. And the first time he did it, I was like, well, that's kind of funny. We must be doing follow-up in his farm. He must know everybody that well. And he knocks on the door and the person didn't answer. And he turned to me and he said, oh, that's really too bad because they really wanted to sell. Then we go to the next door, and on our walk to the next property, he turns to me and goes, these guys really want to sell. They really, really, really want to move. Let's go talk to them. We knock on the door. They answer. I find out that they actually didn't want to sell. He asked a few questions, found out they were very comfortable in their place. I turned and said, a minute ago, you just told me these people wanted to sell, and they clearly did not want to sell. And then I got it, because as we went to the third door, guess what he did again? He turned to me and said, these guys really want to sell. Well, what was he doing? He was affirming what it is that he wants. He knew exactly what his outcome is at every single door. Now, when you're following up on your leads, are you doing the same? Are you saying, these guys are my next appointment. This is my next listing. This is my next buyer. I can't wait to serve this customer. This is going to be awesome. Or are you following up with a mindset of, I'm just going to put them in the calendar and shuffle them forward another 90 days from now, and I'll follow up again later. And that subtle little shift, that subtle little difference in the way you think is the difference between 2 and 14 or 15 out of 100. It can be that simple. Let's look at number 2. Obviously, you want to always build rapport. So think about it. I'm following up on this lead, and what happens is, so Taz is my lead, and I've been, calling Taz, and Taz wants to buy his first place, and we've been talking now for like 8 months. He cleaned up his credit. He's doing this. He's making more money. He's all fired up. And what happens is, we stop doing the basics. We stop like building rapport and connecting with that client at their level, at their right pace, if you will. So the basics of building rapport, if you read the wonderful book, Instant Rapport, how to build rapport in 60 seconds or less, here's what it says. Make sure with every person you talk to, every person you connect, you don't assume rapport, but you take the time to match their tonality. So if they've got, if they answer the phone like this, hello, I'm not gonna call and go, hey, it's Tom Ferry with Banana Real Estate, how are you? No, I'm gonna go, hey, I'm actually gonna match their tone, because remember, people do business with people that are just like them. People want to make it easy. Like, you actually make it easy by building rapport and staying connected to them. It's like you sound like them, you become like them. It's like you're a family member, so it disarms them. The second one is their volume. You ever called on the prospect who talks really loud? They're like, hey, how's it going? And you're like kind of the quiet person. Well, guess what? If you don't elevate your volume, you actually disconnect from them and you don't have rapport. Rate of speech, fast talker, medium talker, slow talker. Hello, I know I'm a fast talker. Consider this, you ready? Generally speaking, what do slow talkers think about fast talkers? City slicking salesperson trying to sell me something. But what do fast talkers think about slow talkers? They're like, hey, let me ask you a question. Come on, here's the answer, right? I mean, there's a natural disconnect. So if I want to book more appointments, I can't assume rapport. I've got to build rapport with every client I talk to and make sure just in that first 30, 60, 90 seconds that we're connected on that level and there's no unnecessary resistance that would stop me from getting an appointment. And then the last one is language. So people use certain language. Don't use your realtor language speak on them. Stay in their model of the world. Now, number 3, if I want to book more appointments, call, voicemail, text, email, and video. The key is this, you ready? It's modality. So some people are going to answer the phone, but many aren't. Some people are going to respond to a voicemail, many won't. Some people respond to a call, text, email. What I know is this, the great agents like you, we're willing to do everything. So we'll call, we'll text, we'll send a video today, BombBomb. Big shout out to my friends at BombBomb because you can record that little video. Hey Taz, I've been thinking about you. I left you a voicemail message. Sorry I didn't get you. Hey, I found a sweet property I think you'd love to see. Call me today at 555-1212 because I'd love to show it to you this weekend. And I record that on a BombBomb video. I email it to them, and guess what? I know in real time, did they open it? Did they watch it? How many times did they watch it? That's valuable data if you want to book more appointments. Let's look at number 4. Easy one. You got to master the basics of pre-qualification. So I've given you 7 questions here. If you go to tomferry.com, you text or type in free scripts, and you can download all kinds of great dialogues from us. But the basics that I'm going to be focusing on every time I connect with someone. Hey, what's your goal? Do you guys want to buy? Do you guys want to sell? How soon do you want to do it? Why? What's your motivation to act? Why now versus say later? As an example, who else is involved? Because is there anything worse than building rapport and connecting with one person and then showing up to the appointment and realizing there's an actual other decision maker that you don't know and you have no connection with? Youch, right? Who else is involved? What's important to you in the agent you choose, in the house that you buy? This is that basic value elicitation question. I want to find out what's truly important to them so I can match that. I can help them achieve what really is important. Then number 6, what's your plan B? I love this question. Hey, if it doesn't work out, what's your plan B? If we can't sell your home at that much money, what's your plan B? If we can't find you the perfect house, what's your plan B? What we know today is clients with a plan B are less likely to act, right? They're looking for the unicorn, which you and I both know in many cases doesn't exist in today's market. Number 7, what has to happen in order for you to move forward? So these basic questions should be coming out of you every time you're meeting with a new prospect, identifying that new lead, going deep, creating contacts, finding out what's really important to them so you can help them achieve their goal by booking an appointment. Now, number 5, capture all the details so you've got greater context. See, a couple days ago I was in Michigan. Mike Bowler Sr., right, comes walking up to me and he says, hey Tom, so Mike, big shout out to you. Hey Tom, how's it going? And so he and I were connecting. Then I met somebody brand new. Well, guess what? I had no context for this person I was meeting, but for Mike, because we've tweeted together, we've texted together, we've emailed back and forth, we've done things together, what happens is we've got a greater relationship because we have context where the new person, let's say I just met, because I don't have any of those details, I don't know anything about their life, they're all brand new to me. So who am I more likely to get an appointment with? The person I've got context with or the person that's brand new? And the answer is very simple. Context rules the day. The more I capture what's important to them, who's involved, where they're going, I don't care, dog's name, university they went to, anything they're willing to share, I'm going to capture, so when I follow up, I can use it as a point of reference, as a point to build rapport and to let them know that I'm paying attention and that I care. And let me tell you mine right now, that is a monstrous game changer. Number 6, put them in some kind of follow-up plan. Very simple. Ready? So many of our clients will tell you, they will say to you, if that prospect wants to do something in under 30 days, I'm going to call them every day until I get an appointment. Every day, call, text, email, whatever it takes. I'm going to follow up. I'm going to be relentless. I'm going to be so relentless that at a certain point, they're going to book an appointment with me because they want me to stop calling. You with me on this? That's how important it is today. When they give you that short window, you've got to be super aggressive until you get the appointment. If they're under 90 days, 2 times a week, until you get to that 30-day mark, because you need to stay top of mind. See, when they want to move in the next 90 days or buy in the next 90 days, you and I both know their radar for real estate agents and opportunities, whoop, 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 it's going off. So if I can't get an appointment immediately, I've got to be on them like as often as I can be to stay top of mind. So when they find that property that perhaps they saw online or in a magazine or whatever, that they actually reach out to you before going to the direct to the listing agent. Does that make sense? And then outside of the 6-month mark, 2 times a month until you get into the 90-day window would be my basic recommendation to book more appointments. Now, the very last point, and I know I've given you a lot to think about, and I really hope that right now you're going, check, I'm doing that one. Oh, I got to be a little more focused on rapport. Yep, got to get back to that. Oh, got to ask a few more, pre-qualifying questions, or I'm doing really good there. Use this as like a little mental checklist. Are you doing enough? Because if you're not getting enough appointments, there's probably some adjustments you need to make. So number 7, check it out. Never accept a no or a maybe when a yes is still possible. Think about it like this. Is there anything worse than knowing you've got a hot prospect on the phone, knowing you got somebody that's ready and they're like, look, I'm really excited about this. Let me just talk to my spouse and, follow up in the next few days and we'll get this done and we'll get a meeting. And you say, okay, versus, look, I totally get it. I'm married, I understand. Why don't we do this? Let's tentatively just go ahead and book the appointment for Friday. You're busy, I'm busy. Have a conversation with your husband. And then if something happens, if something goes awry, you can just let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you Friday at 5. And as simple as that sounds, the number of times in your career you have been on the chase, and you know what I mean, the chase, like, I know I got a hot one out there, and you're chasing, and you finally get them on the phone, and they give you like a basic little objection, and you let them off the hook. You let them off the hook and didn't just say, let's book a tentative appointment, and then what happens? You go back into the chase. And you know where that leads you. It's like you're laying in bed at 3 o'clock in the morning, and all of a sudden, you ever had this happen? You ever had the real estate god visit you? It's 3 o'clock in the morning and the real estate god flutters down, lands on your shoulder while you're laying there asleep and says, hey, Taz bought a house yesterday. And it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. You're like, ah! Right? We've all experienced this. Don't get off the phone without booking an appointment. Don't put yourself in a position where you're creating stress and anxiety for yourself. My client Tim Smith said it to me once, many years ago. We were walking from a meeting at Shady Canyon and he said, you know what? I'd rather follow up and be so aggressive and close so aggressively that it occasionally upsets clients than be in a position where I'm having to chase so often, so much, where it just drives me nuts. That balance between the two. I'd rather be more aggressive and get the yes or even a no than be in that chase mode. Does that make sense? So think about the 7. Share with me maybe in the comments below which one or 1, 2, 3, 5, 7 do you need to work on. Maybe share this with a friend or two who you know has been chasing and woken up by the real estate god, and it's time to have them operationalize around how can they book more appointments. So thank you so much for watching. Remember always, your strategy matters, and now more than ever, your passion and ability to book appointments absolutely rules. Thanks for watching. If you love what you're seeing here, then click the button below to join our online community absolutely free. Thanks so much.